Alright, this is a audio manager plugin. Let me show you what it does. Now we need to simply add the URL of the audio which we have downloaded, which we have uploaded on the website. Once you click on add, you see the list has been added, and if you want to make some, if you choose one of the audio to make it live, you just click on make live. So once it gets live, what happens is in the front end you'll see a button at the footer uh, that says pause and play, and if you click on some of the website, some anywhere on the website, you'll see the audio starts to play. I don't think you'll be able to listen to the audio. As of now it's mute, but with this icon you would be able to know that this website is actually playing an audio. In case if you want to change the audio from, you can just make this live, so immediately that will go not live, that will go as not live as a status. Now again we may have to reload the page, and if you go some or some other page, and if you click somewhere, you'll see the audio starts to play. Why audio on click? Usually Chrome doesn't allow on page audio to play. When on page loads, sorry, when the page loads, Chrome doesn't allow to load any audio by default. So that's the reason I have made this on click. If you click somewhere, the audio starts to play, and you'll see the button for, if someone doesn't want to listen to the music, you can simply click on it and make it pause. So here pause and play option is there. Along with that, we can manage the audio from the backend. If you click on delete, this can also be deleted. It's asking confirmation and it got deleted with a little fade out animation. Now let me show you what are the things that we are going to learn. First of all, we're going to see how to create a custom table. Custom table, nothing but you will see a custom table that displays the data that we have entered. So this is the custom table. Now these tables are fetched and displayed in the backend, and this is the custom table that we will be creating. Along with that, you will see a custom page. Once you click on this audio manager, you will see a form, and this form simply allows you to enter the URL. If you click on add, that data will get added. If you want to make this live and not live, make not live, or if you wish to delete it, you can delete it. You can check the status over here, and this is the name of the URL which you have uploaded. And after that, we'll see WordPress AJAX. Without page loading, we want this to go live, and some of the audio not to go live. It is possible because of the WordPress AJAX. Now the pause and play option in the front end. So as I have already shown you, in the front end, you'll see on all the pages we have used the WP hooter. On all the pages, you will get this pause and play option. Along with that, it will automatically start plays once you click somewhere on the website. The audio starts to play by itself when you click somewhere on the website. So that's it for the video, sorry, tutorial. Here we are, this is the episode number 26. We are mastering the WordPress plugin since day 1. It's episode number 26, that means day 26. We have reached from lower absolute 0 to you can say a beginner level to episode number 26. We'll continuing this playlist till it reaches 100. So in case if you wish to learn HTML, CSS, JavaScript, I have a specific course for that. If you want to master HTML, you can learn from this course. You can, if you want to master CSS, you can visit this course of mine. While it has like hundreds of courses, live courses, or it's not a live, it's a hands-on practice. Here you won't be getting a theory, but you'll have a hands-on experience. The same way for the JavaScript, we have like 101 series. Likewise, I'm creating a playlist for the WordPress as well. Once it's completed, it will be on this website. So if you want to learn HTML, if you want to learn CSS, JavaScript, PHP, MySQL, WooCommerce, WordPress theme development, WordPress plugin development is going on right now, Laravel development, all the facilities are there, and this is the roadmap for the WordPress developer. If you want to be a good WordPress developer, or if you want to be a good Laravel developer with the WordPress knowledge, I recommend you to go through this page and purchase the course. The course will be like 100 rupees, Indian rupees, and you can play at your own pace. Enough of that, let's get into the code. So for the first thing, to make our plugin show on this particular page, So for that, what we need to do is we need to, let me deactivate first. We need to create a folder on the plugins folder. So you would have a WordPress folder in your local host, and this is the plugins folder where all my UI audio, and inside that what we need to have is we need to have a simple PHP file with the same name, and to give this information we need to give the metadata, and with this metadata you can see I'm giving the name audio manager UImonk and the version number and the author name. So this is enough to show your plugin name on this particular page. You can see audio manager UImonk. Now once I click on activate, I want the plugin to create a table. So with the help of register activation hook, I am calling the global WordPress object to know the WP prefix. So by default WordPress gives you a table name as prefix WP, and then we have a table name. I am going to name it as audio manager 3, and this is for the sorting, you don't have to worry about it. And I'm creating SQL query, and it will simply have an ID, this is a column name, again this is a column name with the following data type, and using the SQL, I'm using this argument to act as an argument. This is a variable which holds your query, and this is the function that runs your SQL query. So to run this SQL query, we need to call where it's actually defined. So this is a place wp admin includes and update.php. Now once you click on activate, the register activation hook will run this query for you. If you activate, and we have to get into the database, you will see audio manager 3. Actually this is not the plugin, I got a little confused. This is the plugin that we are creating right now, and let me make it active. Once it's active, you should see a new table. Yes, it's over here, audio manager 3, and this is the table that we have defined. It's listed over here. Now what I need to do is I need to display a menu. So to create a menu, to display a menu, we have a function called admin menu. So this admin menu is a hook that allows you to create a menu. So this is going to be the page title, this is going to be the h1, and this is the capability for the author. So this is a keyword, and this is the slug. When you click on the menu, you'll see a slug change to something like audio manager, and then we have the function, the relevant function. If you click something should get triggered, so that's something you'll be displaying over here, and then we have a icon. So this is enough to display your audio manager menu. Once I click on it, it's going to be blank, but now we will be using an HTML form to display. So this is the HTML. So to write HTML, we need to close the PHP tag, and here you go. Now once I click on add, I want the data to be sent to this table. So for that I would be checking whether the value of the input field is there or not. If it is there, then I'll insert. So I'm checking if the URL, if the input field has a name, at the name attribute of the input field has a value. If it has a value, then simply insert, choose the table name. We need to define the table name, and the table name is going to be this one with the help of global object. And we are checking, we are inserting the audio URL column, and we are defaultly giving it as 0. If it is 0, it's not alive. If it's 1, it's live. Now this is enough to display, to insert the value in the table. You will see a success message. Once the success message is received, you can see the row that got inserted the same way. Now what I need is I want to fetch those values and display just below my form. So again, two values are there. Now for that we would need a HTML table here. So let me just define the table. So this will simply have ID URL status. Let me just show you. Here you will be displaying the ID, here you will be displaying the URL, raw URL, and then you will be setting live or not live based on the, we'll have the value 0 and 1. If it is 0, it's not live. If it's 1, it's live. And then we will have an action button. Let me just fetch all those values of this table and display it over here. So we will use the select query, and this select query will has the, this variable will have the individual row. So likewise we have two rows, and these two row value will be over here. Now we need to check whether this value is there or not. If it's there, then we'll just fetch the value and display it. So as of now, I'm just fetching the ID and displaying it. I want you to notice one thing. You'll see the individual row has a ID, which is row hyphen, either it's going to be 1 or it's going to be 2. So it's for the delete operation. I'm specifically using this. Now if you see, I made it display the serial number and the URL. Let me just give a condition for the status. If it is 0, then it's not live. If it is 1, it should make this live. So for that, I need to use a ternary operator, and simply it's going to check. Simply it's going to check if it is 0, then if it is 1, then display it is the span tag with the text live. If it is 0, then display not live. See, both of them should be not live, because both of the value, I want to display this value over here. So the status, now you'll see both of them is 0. I'm sorry for that. You just need to make this, because we have made this readable text with live and not live. So both of them is not live. If I make one of them as live by manually changing it, you will see one of them with green color text as live. Now the same way, if this is live, I want to make this not live. So for that, so this is what we will do. Now it's the opposite. If it's live, then we have to show the button not live. If it is not live, then we have to show the button live. Now for that, I have also thought of the JavaScript. So when I click on the button, I want to send two values. The first one is action, the second one is ID. When I click on the button, I want the value like what is the row that I need to change, that can be identified with the help of ID, and what is the action, either it should be live or not live. So that action is also I would be fetching on clicking of this button. So now we'll display the button live and not live. So if you say it's live, it's make not live. If it is not live, then make live. Then finally we would have a delete button. This delete button will just have the ID to know which row need to be deleted. So simply it will just have the ID, data ID, not the action. We know that it's going to get, it's the delete button. So here we'll just use this over here. So you should see one more button, just say that says delete. Now we need to write a script tag that makes the live and not live and delete and show. It will not show, just delete. So for that, we know that this particular page, we know that this script should only load on this particular page with the slug. So for that, we have a function called get screen name. So we'll be appending the script on the WP footer, and WP footer will be displayed on all the fields, but we don't want that. We want only the WP footer script to load on this particular page. So for that, what we'll do is we'll use the WP footer, and we would know that which screen is we are currently in, which screen. To know that which screen we are in, WordPress gives you some keywords. That keywords will be mixed with the total audio manager. It's a combination of the keyword along with the slug. So if you are, this is called the top level menu. So if your menu is a top level, so you'll have a top level page with the slug. So that's why you will see the top level, this is the keyword along with the slug. So we're saying if it is this page which is a top level menu, then only run this script. So likewise, we have two more things, which is for the submenu and the submenu under tools. So if there is a submenu under setting page, so this is going to be the keyword. Instead of top level menu, it will be settings page. And if it's the submenu, then you will see the tools underscore page. So this is for the tools and the for this submenu, we will be having access to this page with the help of tools-page-slug. Now since we know that which page we are in, we need to run a jQuery or the event listener, click event listener. For this, I have used a jQuery, and when I click on this button with active and not active, I need to access this ID and this data, so that I can access with the help of data ID data action. I am storing it into a variable, and on button click I am sending this to the admin hyphen ajax.php. So this keyword from jQuery will convert to the admin-ajax.php by default, and I'm sending the action. This action is required to trigger this particular Ajax. I'll repeat once again. This action is required to trigger this particular Ajax code. I'll show you in a minute, because we need to append just as we have appended top level menu, we need to append this with the wp-ajax- the slug. Here it's not a slug, here it's going to be the action. So I hope this is clear. If that doesn't clear, just rewind it and watch it again. The same way, we have one more thing for the delete button. So for the delete button, we don't need to accept the data action, we just need to accept the ID. So with this ID, we'll have the access. Since you would have seen, we would get a confirmation saying that yes or no. So for this is the code that works for the JavaScript, and this it gets the ID from the button. Once it gets the ID from the button, the request sends to the Ajax. The request sent to the page over the Ajax with this URL admin-ajax.php, and this is an action hook. Again, this action hook will define it one more time. This is another, and this is another. So now, as I have already said, to run the Ajax code, WordPress gives you a action. So this is the action that WordPress gives. Now we need to append this with the file. Now as you see, this is the Ajax code, wp-ajax underscore, and the action that you give. So whatever data you send, that will be accessed by this block of code, which is by this hook. You can see that. So we have sent the ID and the action, either it's going to be live or not live, to the URL called admin-ajax, and that admin-ajax, once it get loaded, it will also load this function, this block of hook. So these to put it in simple words, these data can be accessed by this block of code, because we have linked wp-ajax with the action. The same way, you need to link these delete data will be sent to this hook, and this is toggle. So what operation that we need? Since we are sending the value over the post request, we can use a super global variable post. Since it's appending from the string, it's a string, we need to convert into int. So that's the reason I'm typecasting it to the ID, and this post will have either live or not live, and this is action. Now we are going to update the table. So for that, to update the table, we need the super global variable wpdb, and simply we need to check whether the value is live or not live. So if the action is live, what we need to do is we need to first set all the values to 0 on the table, and then get the specific ID and make it live. For if it is not live, it's simple. If it's not live, you just have to make this live. And once this is done, you need to exit the Ajax query with the help of wpdb. The same way for the delete, we need to fetch the value with the help of PHP global variable, you can say global variable, which is post. We'll be getting the post request. The post request will have the ID, which is in the string form. We are typecasting it to the integer value so that we can pass it to the query. So this query just needs the ID, but the previous query need what to update. We just need to delete it. So once this is successful, what happens is the Ajax says the response is success. Once it's success, the ID, the row with ID will fade out. If you remember, we have given the ID to the row itself to identify which row need to be deleted. So that's the reason I have given a row ID to uniquely identify. Now after this, you would able to delete, and you'd be able to make things live. If I make this live, all other things will get this block of code runs. All other things get the status 0, and only the ID which you have set will make live. The same way, once I click on it, whatever is there below will update the status to 0, and what you want to make live will go live. And that's it. Now we need to display this block of code on the front end. Now to display the audio in the front end, first of all we need to know which audio is live. To know which audio is live, we need to run a query, and that query will say whether the status is 1 or not. If the status is 1, then fetch that value and display the value in the front end. So in the front end we'll have the button. Also we will have, I think some of the plugin is already active, because yeah, both of them. Yeah, what I've done is I have simply called the table name and got to know which of the row has the status 1. If the status is 1, then get that value and display it in the audio tag. The audio tag will accept the URL, and by default it will be display none, and along with that I'm just displaying this button over here. It doesn't do anything right now. Now we'll be writing a script. So that script will simply get two values from the HTML. The first one is audio tag and the second one is the button. So I got it over here. As I click, you'll see the the ID is getting highlighted, and if I click somewhere on the web page, I want to run the player. If the player is paused, then play. If it is not paused, vice versa. If the player is paused, it will play. And this catch is required for the player, which is audio player. We don't have to worry about it, or we don't have to go deep into it. Now I have made this event only once. So what usually happens is, if your audio is playing on click, if I click multiple times, or if I click whatever times I want, what happens is each time the audio will try to play from 0. If I click here and wait for some time, the audio starts to play, and if I click again, the audio will try to play it one more time from 0. So stop that, I have just used the once colon true as a second argument for the click event. So what it does is, it will allow me to click once, and then the second click will make it disable. On the second click, this function won't work. So this is the new that we have learned today, and we need to make this button toggleable. If I click on it, the button should get to, this is pause now. If I click on it, the play button should show up. Again, if the play button shows up, I want to make this pause. So for that we will be writing a JavaScript. Not only the text content should change, but also the player need to be pause and play. Based on the condition, if it is pause, then play, then change the icon to this. If it is pause, if it is play, then make it pause, then change the content to play. Now this will work. If I click, you'll see the audio starts to play. If I make it pause, you'll see the audio slightly will go disappear. Yes, it's gone. So the hero of this tutorial is get custom screen, get current screen, to know which dashboard file needs the jQuery or the script to run. This is the first thing, and the second hero is once equal to click. So these are the two things that we have learned new today, and I want you to visit my website and learn the HTML and CSS and JavaScript, then jump into this plugin development course, so that you will better understand what I went.